Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be recreating this awesome look using the Blood Sugar palette from Jeffree.Cosmetics, and feel free to follow along and do your own makeup in this process. With that, let's get started. Awesome. To get started with this look, we're going to start with the face, and I'm going to start by priming my face. I use Professional by Benefit Cosmetics, just because I have some problem areas that I want to try to mask, and so I'm just gonna do that by putting this on my cheeks. I'm not gonna use a beauty sponge here, just because I think it does well on hands as well. I'm just going to mainly end up putting this on the inner kind of triangle of my face, like nose and cheeks, or inner cheek, and kind of the forehead area up here. And then some is on the chin as well. Would be a good placement for this guy. But you can use any primer that you like. I just tend to stick with Professional because that's one of my favorites. But it is a little bit more on the expensive end, so find a dupe if you want. Alright, awesome. So I'm actually going to start with concealing and contouring first. I learned this trick from Tati Westbrook when she had Scott Barnes on her channel. So we are actually going to do that first. So I'm going to use Magic Star concealer in C11. And I'm just going to... It's gonna look like a lot, like I'm gonna place it everywhere, but when we put the foundation on top, it's gonna look a lot smoother. So without further ado, let's conceal. Alright, so I'm gonna put it under my eyes, kind of in a small triangle, but you don't have to use this much, really. And then the tip of my nose, and just the bridge area as well, kind of like an exclamation point. And then there as well. And upper lip and forehead. And then I'm also going to just do something here. So we want the lights all the way up here. Lights all the way up to here as well. So we're gonna do that. That just makes this a little bit clearer. And with that, most of our concealer's in place. I'm just gonna blend it in a little bit, or kind of just blend it out a little bit. Nothing too drastic. We still want to see it, but have it just a little bit more blended out, because we're gonna have a lot of blending to do when it comes with the foundation on top of it as well. And I'm just going to use this tiny little sponge. I'm going to use the pointed end to help just get under the eyes a little bit more. So here we go. We're just blending it out. Alright, so I blended it out a little bit more on the chin. You can do that, or you don't have to place it on the chin. And then next we are going to go in with a kind of cream contour. It's the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in the color Truffle. And now I know this is going to look weird at first, but we got to believe in the process. So I'm going to put it on my forehead and my cheekbones, and then you might see me do some here. But let's get to the contouring. This hair is going to stay on my forehead Alright, so and we're just going to place that contour right under our concealer that we've already placed. So it's going to just kind of be right there, right next to it. And this one kind of off, but yeah, pretty close to right on it. And then we're going to actually do this area as well, and this area, kind of just bringing that chin in. I could use all of that. So, looks crazy, don't get me wrong, I know, but it will help the process of when we're putting bronzer on a little bit later. And for this one, I think I'm going to end up using a brush to kind of blend it out. And I'm kind of use this Morphe brush. It's kind of like a fan shape, but not as much. And we're gonna just blend out this contour real quick. And so with this brush, I'm brushing the contour towards my hairline. I don't want to, contouring is to help make shadows and make it look like we are a lot skinnier than we are. Just kidding. But we're just gonna lightly blend that out. And I kind of like the brush better because then you can also just do this. Yeah, make those jawbone kind of disappear. Not really disappear, but make it where it's believable. We're gonna keep going and blending. Alright, so next, once we kind of have it fully blended out, like with the concealer, I didn't want to fully blend it out because we are putting foundation over it, so that will help with the blend out process. And so now is the foundation. We are going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me in 120. It's the matte and poreless one. And I just kind of like, there's a lot of foundations you can use. I just tend to use drugstore brands because that's the ones that I'm used to using and making it work. I don't think you really have to go high-end for foundation. Reality, you could just use a drugstore and it would work just as well. So, taking it on a sponge, and we're just gonna blend this into what we've laid. See, I'm not gonna go over the concealer. I want that to still be the brightening tone, but we are gonna go over the contour just so we don't have that harshness of that line that we created. My hair on my face. We're just gonna go over the nose slightly because that's kind of where best of both worlds meet with contour and highlight. Awesome. So with that, we have majority of the little base laid on. We're just gonna finish blending here. And with that, we are going to start the baking process of the under eye. I'm going to just blend the concealer out a little bit more, but we are basically blended out to perfection. So with that, we are going to do the baking of the face. For this, I'm going to use the Magic Star powder, excuse me, in beige, and I'm just going to use this for my under eye as well as the other areas we concealed. So with this, we're just going to go right where we put the concealer. We're going to go right here. Alright, awesome. And then we're going to set the rest of my face using the Fit Me powder foundation in 122. And we're going to use this awesome foundation brush and kind of just pack that in where we set foundation. I'm not going to put it right over the contour, so because we have the bronzer that we can use to put over that, but we're just going to use it for everything else. And I'm also putting this on my neck, so everything is one color. And we're just going to blend this out. Blend. Awesome. And with that, our face is mainly good to start working on the eyes. I kind of don't do bronzer and blush till the very end. And I'm going to keep the bake on just because of the pigment. Just in case any pigment decides to fall off the brush or anything like that. But we are going to start on the eyes. So I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer for that. So I'm going to actually start with my eyebrows. So, how I do my eyebrows. I'm using Dip Brow Pomade by Anastasia Beverly Hills in dark brown. And then I'm also going to use this brush right here. Has a spoolie and a pointed end. And with the pointed end, I'm going to start by doing my brows by drawing a line kind of underneath where the hair is growing. Kind of brush that up into the brow. And I'm going to do the same with the top of the brow. And kind of brush up. And use a spoolie as well to do this, not just the other end. And then we're going to draw a line down. For the tail. I kind of don't do the under of the tail just because I usually clean it up with concealer, and that just ends up mainly wiping away some of the product that we've been using. So I'm just going to do that. And fill in this brow. And my brows never usually look the same. They look like they're in the same family, but they never look the same. I tend to just clean them up with concealer, because that's what I use as my eyeshadow base. And I think the brows are mainly on point to start with the rest of the eye look. And so I'm going to actually clean this up with concealer. And I'm going to use Shape Tape this time actually, because it's a little bit darker. And we're just going to get some off the edge of the brush, not fully on. And we are going to clean it up, the eyebrows. So to do that, just use some product lightly on this, and then we're just going to draw under that base as well. And I'm just bringing the product down because I ended up using it as eye primer. But we get a nice little highlight on the eyebrow bone as well. And let's just clean it up a little bit. So for this look today, we are going to be using this lovely palette, Blood Sugar by Jeffree Star. Alright, so to start off the eye look, we are going to go in with the first two colors on the top row. We're going to start with this sugarcane, these two right here. Awesome, which are sugarcane and cake mix. So we're just going to lightly dabble in both and kind of just set that as our base color. So we're just going to use a swirling motion. I'm going to set the base tone of this look. And I'm just kind of putting it all over, just not dragging it to the inner corner, but also making it where it kind of sets what we put down as eye primer. Alright, awesome. So it may not look like there's a lot on there right now, and we just wanted to start with a single color, so we're good. We're gonna move on to the next color, Fresh Meat, which is this third color right here. And we're just going to take that on another fluffy brush, such as this one. We're going to just do this. And we're going to just mainly keep this in our third and kind of drag it up into our crease. I'm just using kind of like a swirly motion as well, so we get that pigment right in that place. Kind of keeping it right there. And crease area. So I'm kind of just bringing it out a little bit. You don't have to do this. I'm just doing it because I like the flare. It just helps smooth the transition over into what we've laid. And then next we're going to use Coma in this palette, which is this guy right here, this nice dark purple. And we're also just going to take that on another fluffy brush. We're going to use a little bit smaller of a fluffy brush, kind of more to the point and everything. So we're just going to pick that up on our brush here. And kind of deepen that outer corner And kind of blend this up into fresh meat. We're just really using this to deepen the outer corner and the crease a little bit. Not too much, but just a tad bit. Can't see what I'm doing, sorry guys. Alright, awesome. So we're just doing this area a little bit. So we're keeping it on the outer thirds of the eye. The outer third. So the next thing I'm actually going to do is cut the crease. We have a pretty good base layout set up right now for the outer corners. So we're just going to start working on that inner corner. And again, I'm going to take shape tape and the flat brush we used to cut the eyebrow is the same thing we're going to do to cut the crease. Awesome. So there's a lot of different ways you can cut the crease. How I cut the crease is kind of similar to how I saw Nikki's tutorials do it. So we are going to just kind of half close our eye, and we're going to lay down. I think we have a little too much concealer on here. We're going to just lay down, and then I'm going to look up. Oh, usually it would create a little line, but I think, yeah, so you see how it creates this line right here if you just lay down the concealer, and that way we can just follow it up as well and kind of just blend it out. And this is where I'm gonna stop the cut crease so we don't have this all nice stuff that we laid out earlier kind of fall in the back. So hopefully I can show it a little bit better on this side. So I'm just gonna lay the concealer down near the lash line and look up, and then it's gonna leave this nice line that we can follow to make that cut crease. I'm just going to stop right there as well so we don't lose that outer third. So this is what you should have by now, or what you can have. And really, you can just use any color that you like. And this can be in like a brown everyday look, or you could just go as wild as I'm going. But next we are going to use Cavity. Cavity is this bright pink right here. So I would suggest using a little bit of this color. It does have a staining effect. At least I've experienced a staining effect. Not everyone's going to experience a staining effect, but it is a bright pink, so I would just be cautious of it. I wouldn't say be wary of it and be like afraid of using this color, but just be wary that it may stain. So after a couple good hours of wear, I'm actually going to use this kind of smudger brush. So we're just going to put it in the middle of the lid, right where the concealer meets our outer corner. We're going to kind of just pack this pink in there and kind of blend it out as well. and we are going to add some sparkle to this look with using candy floss. Candy floss is this color right here underneath the white. You can tell this color has gotten some use out of it. And we are just going to put that where the rest of the concealer is, and I'm going to use a similar brush to what we used to set the concealer down, and we're just going to follow that line. And kind of blend it together with cavity. And blending it together with cavity on this side as well, following that line we set with the concealer. So there is something I did a little different with this cut crease. You can stop here if you like, but I'm going to just add something that I did a little differently. We're going to take a small detailing brush, similar to this one. It's kind of pretty small. And we're going to pick up cavity again. And we're just going to have it on the tip of the brush, and with this we are going to just draw over candy floss. And with that, the lids are done. I'm going to wait on mascara and lashes, and we're going to continue with the rest of the face. With the face being done, I am going to brush away that contour, not that contour, the bake that we have going on. You can use like a big fluffy brush. You can use a big fluffy brush like this, or you could just use something similar to this one, pointed, can get under the eyes. I'm just going to use this one for today because we kind of have it all over the face. And so here we go. Next we are going to do just kind of finish up the face with the contour and highlight. For bronzer, I am going to go in with the Benefit Hula bronzer. That way we don't have anything going. So we're at, as we were saying, we're just going to brush this back and in where we set that line. Brushing it back into the hairline. And you don't have to go very deep with this. We can kind of just leave it here since we have such a bold eye look. We can just kind of have a subtle face. And then next I'm going to do the nose contour. I'm going to just use a eyeshadow brush. It's kind of fluffy as well, and we're just going to pick that up on the edge of the brush, and we're just going to follow the kind of the bridge of the nose, kind of the outsides. And I'm not going to go too dark with this because that's what I end up seeing a lot. Even on me, like I end up seeing too dark. So I think that's where we're going to call that contour. Awesome. I guess we should finish up the eyes. So to finish up the eyes, I'm just going to take fresh meat on a kind of a detailing brush as well. It's kind of more flat. And we're just going to take fresh meat and kind of bring that on the lower line, lash line, and kind of just give it some definition. I'm kind of just keeping everything to really close to the lower lash line since this is such a crazy look. I don't want to bring it all the way down as much as I would, but you're free to do whatever you see fit. Leave that. Next I'm going to put some mascara on. I'm still deciding if I want to add lashes to this look. I know that's like everyone's go-to when they want to do a crazy look, but I have pretty long lashes in it, so it really depends on you if you want to add lashes or not. I'm not going to, I think, in the end. I'm just going to put some mascara on and call it good. Alright, awesome. And I'm just going to use Maybelline Lash Sensation for my mascara today. And we're just going to get those little lashes all nice coated. All nice and coated. That's the word I was looking for. And for blush, I'm going in with Marc Jacobs in the Airbrush 508. And I'm kind of just going to use a fluffy brush as well here. Could be like something similar to this. And I'm just going to pick up very little product. You can see a little bit on the brush. And we're just going to lay that over top our bronzer and kind of blend up as well. Awesome. And we are going to do highlight. We're going to use Fenty Beauty with the colors of Mean Money and Hustler Baby. Hustler Baby. We're just going to put that on our cheekbones. And tip of the nose. I used to do the whole bridge, but for the nose, we just kind of want to do the top of the bridge. That's where the light hits. Do some on the forehead. And we got a Cupid's bow. Setting spray, we're just going to use Morphe. And we're just going to refreshing. Awesome. Alright guys, so this is a finished look. This is kind of something that we came up with. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see more, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and comment any requests that you have for any tutorials that you'd like to see me do. Thanks.